you are enjoying us as much as we're enjoying ourselves. We're getting ready to bring on our phenomenal, and these two individuals, as my wife stated, that are so important to us. Yes. We love them dearly, so much. We can't even begin to tell you how much we love them. My wife has been connected to the wife there for
all of her life.
All of her life. Yeah. Pray for us. But this young man who's pastor in New Jersey is dear to all of us, to his wife, to my wife, myself, our family. He is family to us. Yes. LaMarcus Carter, he is the pastor of New Jersey location, along with his wife. They've been serving in ministry with us over 20 years. We've been doing this together. And the first time I met this young man, he had a rapping career. But he was holding on to his daughter sitting in the church.
Tanita was
the church pew. Yeah, he was holding his daughter's out with us today, but he was
the one he celebrates with the Howard University.
Yeah. So we just started connecting there, and ever since that connection that him and I have made, he's been by my side in ministry ever since then. He's not departed and left. He's been assigned to me, and through the good, the bad, and very, very through the ugly, messy as well. He's been right there, and we're excited to just have a conversation with him today, talking about value and appreciation. We're not gonna wait any longer. You already see them, but now we're gonna give them the floor. Pastor Carter, Lady Keisha Carter from the New Jersey location, Life Empowerment Center. And Jay, listen, you guys tell us what's going on. Let the people know about you. Talk to us, Carters.
Good morning. I'm sorry, my niece just got on the screen like she's posing. I love my niece. But so we have some things coming up here in New Jersey. We're doing some things in New Jersey. We're building in New Jersey. On June 11th, we're having our first interest meeting / meet and greet / hey, what's up? What's going on with you? It's going to be June 11th in the afternoon. We'll have more information on that. We still locking some things down, but we look forward to seeing a lot of people in New Jersey come out and just see what we got going on and what we plan, what is God's plan for us here in New Jersey.
Yes.
Good.
Love it.
Lady K, you smiling and waving. Hey, say something.
I am. I have my coffee, so I'm ready.
Yes, they listen. They are coffee gurus. Well, one of the chief debates we have is where good coffee is located. So I'm gonna ask you to pray for them because they miss God when it comes to coffee. As all the coffee tasting that they do, they still miss God. They don't understand that Starbucks is where it's at. But they believe what's the name of this coffee shop they really like?
Brouhaha.
Brouhaha in Delaware.
Yeah, Brouhaha. Yeah, God is trying to redirect them down the path. So every time they come to Delaware, they have to go to Brouhaha to get that. So God is helping them. God is letting them know where they can find some good coffee outside of the Dunkin' Donuts and all the other ones that they try to have.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Pastor Carter. He's a chef. He does his own coffee at home. There it is.
That is true.
His own coffee at home. He certainly does. I'm sorry. He still miss God. But anyway. Anyway, listen. We want to talk today about value and appreciation.
Yes.
The importance of value and appreciation in relationship. And most of the time when people, when we have these type of talk, they just think it's about couples, right? Just think we deal with relationships altogether because having a relationship with Christ is being intimate, right? So if you have a relationship with someone, that is understanding that relationship sometimes in the intimate, not settings, but conversations that you may have, things that are pertinent to the person growing. So we want to talk about value and appreciation because most of the time people are not valuing themselves first. They want people to label them to give them value. Then they value themselves without understanding and taking self-inventory of just how valuable they are without someone. My wife still has value even if I'm not her husband, if I'm not Pastor. She's not Lady Price or she's not Sherry Price because she's Lady Price. She's Sherry Price because that's who she is. One thing she used to always tell people, she would never introduce herself as I'm Lady Price or I'm Pastor Price's wife. She says, I'm Sherry Price. That's my identity. That's who I am. That's my husband. He's Pastor Price, Overseer Price. You call him what you want. But I'm Sherry Price. That's my introduction. That's
not taken away from who he was or who he is in the body of Christ. I would never do that. So it's not to, demean who he is, just allowing people to know I am a person apart from my husband. I'm not in my husband's shadow. We're walking this journey together.
Right. So we're going to talk about value and appreciation. Value is important because it helps us grow and develop, right? It helps us grow and develop. It causes us to, when we are developed, it helps us in the future when we interact in these other different relationships. So having Christ, having a relationship with Christ, he teaches us about our value. And when we allow him to be the center or the central priority in our lives, not only does he teaches us about our value, he develops us, he nurtures us, he grows us up, he pulls out that thing that's in us that was filthy, the things that some people try to put in us,
that stained who we were.
Yep, that stained who we were as people, to try to get us to be confused about who we were, get us to rely on them for who we are in Christ or who we are in life. So we want to talk about value and appreciation. And what better to talk to us about value and appreciation than the Carters from New Jersey. Yeah, so listen, we gonna get right into this. Babe,
wait, Keisha, I'm sorry, your shirt don't match Carter's shirt today.
Let me tell you, we have the same shirt, right? So I pulled mine out. I'm like, all right, he gonna follow suit. No, he gonna pull out something else. So that's why we don't match.
Okay.
But we have the same shirt. He just didn't want to match.
I get it.
Like you said, we're an individual. We're separate people. So here I am being me and him being him.
I like that. That was a perfect commercial.
Oh Lord. Listen, Pastor Carter, I was trying to think of Lamarcus, I was trying to think of something to help you. Then I said, well, I guess he's on the island by himself.
Yes, he is.
I wore my Black Women Matter shirt to support my wife, my children. I have beautiful daughters, Tania and Layla, my beautiful wife. I wanted those Black women to know that they matter. So I was just showing them appreciation through my shirt.
You see how you try to spin that? Nah, buddy.
Sorry, it didn't work.
Hey, Mother Ava, do you see this, Mother Ava? You see?
Mother Ava looking like
yes, Pastor, I see it. I'm praying, Pastor. I'm praying.
Listen, you people, you probably looking at it and saying, oh, they doing this on Sunday morning. Our endeavor, this is part of our vision, that on a Sunday morning, even with a house full of worshipers, we have a platform with chairs sitting there. And on that platform, we're having this type of interaction on a Sunday morning with those life-changing community individuals that's in the house of worship. I believe that would be great to see on a Sunday morning, that you're having a conversation and being your authentic self, being honest, laughing, and having fun outside of the box, and people just enjoying the interaction you're having, and they're having laughs on a Sunday morning. I believe they will leave empowered, realizing, man, God was in that place. We had a great time, great fellowship off of that type of encounter. So what you see us doing is not something that's going to change. When we walk through the doors of our building, this is the same type of thing that will occur on once every quarter. Chat and chew. We're going to have coffee, tea, people sitting there. We're going to be just having fun.
Yes.
So let's talk about value. Let's get into that, baby.
Yes.
Hey, Jordan.
Hi.
Yes. That's Jordan. She has a phenomenal mind for young people, for life. She is Jordan is this young baby that came. She did not like me. She cried every time she got near me. But the Lord changed it. The love, the smile that I had, changing lives one smile at a time. One her heart. And we're now connected.
Hey, Jordan. Listen.
Hi.
We're talking today about value and appreciation, right? Why it's important. why it's important to us. I believe that a lot of us have lost that, right? We've lost what value really means. And so we pattern after what we see because we lose our value. Not only that, we allow people to treat us or mistreat us any kind of way because we don't have value on our own selves, so we can't expect others to value us. So we're going to talk about why value is important. And so, Carter, if you can just start off with that, why is value and appreciation important?
So why is value and appreciation important? If I can quote, if you're around my age, you probably remember this guy. Joe had a song back in the 90s. Joe, he said, all the things you man won't do, I'll do them for you. So he was saying, you know, the things that you don't get at home, someone else will provide, right? Value and appreciation has to start at home because you may not see the gift that you have, or you may not understand the blessing that you have, but someone else will see it. Yes. And if someone else start to see it, someone else start to appreciating the gift that you have, now all of a sudden you lose that gift. Mm-hmm. And it's not just, you know, husband and wife. It's even with whether it's your friends, your children, whoever it may be. If you have someone in your life that's consistent and consistently good, and you appreciate them, then that'll give them motivation to continue to be consistently good. It's no thing worse than, you know, being consistently good and being overlooked or being unappreciated, or right, people taking you for granted because you're always there, or taking you for granted because you always show up. No, appreciate those people that show up for you, that are consistent for you. So to me, that's why I like value and appreciation.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good. I think about what you say, going through the journey of really discovering how to value yourself, right? It really should start as a child from your parents teaching you about value, right? Just telling you that you are loved without you having to have straight A's, right? Just hugging you and embracing you if you didn't do anything at all, right? Or even when you do something bad, you know, and they have a form of discipline that's necessary at that time, but then explaining it to you and then still loving you in it and embracing you and not saying nothing negative and telling you you're still valued just because of who you are. You know, sometimes, especially when we have this heavy dosage of bullying, right? And kids go through in school. Bullying is about them feeling inferior to someone else, right? Or they've been called these different names. So it starts to devalue who they are. Well, when you get home, like you said, Pastor Carter, if I go home, can someone at home tell me about my value because of the day that I had and you don't know anything about? Don't let me come home and now I'm at home and I'm getting devalued at home as well. And that happens in relationships, right? In relationships, whether it's parent, but most of them, I'm going to talk now about marriages, right? That the devalue that someone may have outside of their home, on their jobs, in their place of employment, they are being devalued and they're putting in work, they're giving their best, but they're being overlooked, they're being taken for granted. Now they come home and they have the same thing occurring in the home, right? So all of that starts to mount up and they don't feel appreciated outside. They don't feel appreciated inside. They're hurting. They're wounded. So value and appreciation has to come with you first, because if you realize that you're valued with all your flaws, with all your mess, right? You're going to see some value in someone else to encourage them, to tell them that there's still some good in you. It's still locked in you. Don't listen to all of the outside voices. I don't know what you've gone through today, but here, listen, let me encourage you, right? And I believe that that's what's make our rally cry so great. Smile, change your lives, one smile at a time. Because you don't have to know these people. You don't have to know what's going on. All you know is that I'm going to change your life today with a smile.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, it is important. It is important. I mean, everyone that knows me, I appreciate you. Thank you. You know, you just kind words to people, because you never know what people face during the course of the day. You know, even for my husband, sometimes I'll just come and I'll just give him a rub on the head and be like, man, you know, you the best dude, you know? And so it's just to show that I appreciate the things that he do, because it's not all the time we come out and say, oh, I appreciate you, babe, I appreciate you, thank you, it's not all the time that we come out and say that. So sometimes I just walk past and I rub that head or rub his back and, I appreciate you today, I think you're the best thing going, you got to do that to encourage other individuals. And if I can openly do it with people that I don't even know, why not? Because we'll do it. We'll set a standard with people we don't know, and then we come home and we like bulldogs, So I mean, it's just right to do right and appreciate and show him that he does have value, even though he might not even feel like it in that moment, right? He might be thinking something otherwise of, man, I didn't do this for my family, I didn't get this, or I'm in this position. No, just to let him know, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, dude, for the things that you bring to this family. Right. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. It makes us better, and I appreciate you for that.
Lady K, you share with us. Why does appreciation matter?
Appreciation matters because you want to feel like your partner is there. The partner they appreciate what you do. Just like in a work situation, you do all this hard work. You want somebody to say, good job, not just, okay, here's more. Here, keep going. Like, that's the worst thing, a worst position to be in. Right. When you've done so much and that person just like, okay, what you got next? What's your next trick? So you want somebody to be like, thank you for that. Thank you for going above and beyond. Thank you for driving this time. Thank you for thank you for cleaning the bathroom because I don't have to. So you want that person to give you that, even if you, like you said, you don't say it, you may not say it, but you may give a little thank you, babe, or a little love you, babe. You want that. So you want to feel like your partner is there for you. They don't expect it all the time. The worst thing is that somebody expects you to keep doing stuff and never say thank you. So, and that goes for relationships, work, everything. It's like you want to feel a job at your job. If you don't feel appreciated, what you gonna do? Look for another one. You don't want that to happen in your relationship. You don't want to look for another one. So you want that person to feel like, all right, let me let him know I love you, so he don't look for another one. So appreciation is key in a relationship. Even if you don't always verbally say it, you want that person to know that you appreciate them. I appreciate you, babe. If I don't say it, I do.
I appreciate you too. Thank you.
Lady K, you said something powerful, and I think really, really gets taken for granted in relationships, right? The word thank you. Mm-hmm. It's assumed that you did that, and that's what you're supposed to do, right? I'm the wife, so I'm supposed to cook, and my husband don't say thank you, right? Whatever the case may be.
Lady K.
Listen, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, right? My wife, we can do the smallest thing. She can bring me a bottle of water. Thank you. It doesn't matter. We're gonna find a way to say thank you for the small things, right? Because it does mean something. I appreciate you getting up, thinking enough for me to bring me some water. Thank you, right? We don't do. People just, I assume that that's what you supposed to do. Why do you need a thank you? Why that? Hey, that's what we do. No, I appreciate you. She said, and here's the thing about appreciation. I want to go to the dark side for a moment, if you allow me to go to the dark side for the moment. Because people haven't been made comfortable with understanding appreciation, they wrestle with it as adults, right? They wrestle with it as adults. And even with me sharing the good things about me and my wife saying appreciation, there are times that even if she rubbed me like this or she kissed me, there comes this uncomfortableness over my mind or me as a person because I didn't experience that as a child, right? I didn't have that affirmation. So even though I'm still teaching myself how to receive it, right? And so what I'm sharing, I hope to bless someone. You have to teach yourself how to receive appreciation as you're learning to value yourself. Right. That person may not know that was uncomfortable. You had a hard time receiving that at that moment, but and you have to immediately say it's okay, right? Because there was times when I used to go, hug my wife, and my wife would be like, okay. It wasn't that she didn't want me to hug her. It wasn't that I didn't have, morning breath. It wasn't that I brushed my tooth. I did all the necessary things. I put my cologne on. It was just receiving that at the moment because we was taught, right? We was taught how to receive that type of affection or pouring into had to do with physical encounter. No, we've started, like you said, Lady K, started learning how to appreciate, even if it wasn't out even if it wasn't with words, we appreciate with just gentle touches, right? Gentle acknowledgement. The appreciation really does matter at the end of the body language. Yep.
And that's a whole nother topic for another day, but you can communicate through body language. So it's not all the time verbally expressing your words. Sometimes it is through that bodily language.
That's right. Okay, this is for both of y'all. This is both. Let's see what you got. What would you say how both of you value your relationship?
Sorry, my words got in front of me there. How both of us value our relationship?
Yes.
You can go first. You want to go first?
No, you got this. Go ahead.
You go. You started.
So we value our relationship in different ways. We value our relationship with, our time spent together when we're going out, whether it's a date night, a lunch, just hanging out, going for a ride. And we also value our relationship with our alone time from each other. We both like to be, watch our show. We watch shows together, but we also like to spend time alone. And we respect that and say, that's his alone time. This is my alone time, but we'll come back together at some point. So he'll go in his room, I'll go in my room. We won't say nothing, but we're okay with that. And then we come back together and we value that. We value that we can both say, okay, he wants his time and I want my time, but that doesn't mean that we don't want to spend time together. We just both need that time apart from each other to miss each other. Right. I need that time to miss you. I'm with you, most of the day I do go to work, but most of the day I'm with you. But when, on the weekends, I want to be able to say, all right, let me spend a few hours that I'm not with him. So when I get back with him, I miss him a little bit.
I mean, we value our individual personalities, right? I value us as a couple, but I value her individual personality. Like as much as we're one, as much as we're the Carters, she's still Keisha, Steve McElvin's daughter, right? I'm still the Lawrence Carter's son. Like we're together and we have a lot of similarities, but we also value that we're individual people. I don't expect her to be interested in the same things that I'm interested in. I can sit here and tell her about, N'Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis. She would not care. She don't even know who that is. She has no idea what I'm talking about. She could sit here and tell me about, Portia and Candy.
You know who they are, though.
Portia's my favorite housewife, by the way. Portia and Candy. She could tell me about them. I'm not interested in that. But we value one another enough to know that it's okay for us to be separate and still have a relationship. It's okay for us to seek separate goals or have separate passions. But still, at the end of the day, we're still a team. We're still in a relationship. We're still together. We still have a bond. And there's some things that we go after together, right? There's some things that we value within our relationship that we go after together. But there's many things that, even though we value, even though we love each other, even though we're together, we appreciate our individual values before we start to appreciate our values together. Because you can't appreciate, like Pastor said, you can't appreciate a relationship if you don't appreciate yourself. You can't value a relationship if you don't value yourself. So we had to grow there, to be separate at sometimes, because somebody always wanted to be abundant me. We had to
right, Lady Price, right.
Exactly. I'm just nodding my head. I'm gonna do like Mother Ava. I'm just gonna pray.
We had to grow there and be secure enough in ourselves that we can value ourselves as individuals and value ourselves as a relationship.
Listen, I don't know if people know, but y'all are preaching up something good today. Yes, I'm about to listen. I'm getting ready to go get my ordination papers. I'm gonna bring out my test. I'm gonna bring Lady K. Lady K. We're gonna go into minister's training. We're gonna get you all set up now.
I'm gonna just nod my head and pray.
This is from someone that says, I don't talk, when I say something, I don't know. Right. And she is ripping it. She is in point. God bless you. I mean, this is just excellent. This
but
is
it goes back to say what I shared with her a while ago, right? When you speak, you have something to say, right? People are listening because your words have value and they have meaning.
Mhm.
You come from a different perspective, but it's an important perspective, a perspective to get us thinking and to say, wow, you know, just like when you made the point about when the job is not valuing you, you go look for another one, right? I would have never put that together like, oh, my husband ain't valuing me, I better go look for another one. I would have never put that together.
But see, that's what being authentic, right? And being honest and being, you know, you're in a safe place where I can be myself, right? And when you understand your value, you're not worrying about you're not concerned about whether you're being judged, because you understand I've been taught and I found value in myself. So you judge me, you may misjudge me, and your judgment doesn't mean that's who I am, because I know who I am. I'm confident in who I am. And I mean, this is just
what you're judging tells me that you got a problem in that area, right? That you instead of judging, you actually need to be listening and learning from that, because that's pain that's caused from you that caused you to judge others.
Right. So
I just wanted to put that little plug in there.
Here's one. Listen, I like what I love the conversation, and I want to go this route with it. Here it is, Carters. What have you discovered is the thing within you that harms or interferes with how you value or appreciate your relationship in one another at times?
So what's within me that'll harm me from appreciating our relationship at times? Again, so it's going to go back to sometimes you take consistency for granted, right? And there are times when, you know, you get so focused in not necessarily what you're doing, but you're focused on other areas where you don't realize, you know, what you have, right? So everybody likes social media. One of the worst things about social media is that social media, you see the best of everybody, right? Every time you see a couple picture, they smiling. Every time they on beaches, they doing this, they doing that. They doing all these great things together. They spending money, you know, all these crazy things. They don't show the fights. They don't show the arguments. They don't show the disagreements on social media. So sometimes you'll get so caught up in those visuals that you desire what they have and not appreciate what you have. You'll be like, man, why are we not vacationing like these people? Why am I not doing this like these people? And I stop, and you kind of, so it's the grass is greener, right? That's one of those old things. The grass always looks greener on the other side. A problem that I fall into, and many people fall into, is we start to judge how our lives are based off the picture that someone else shows. And as soon as you do that, you stop appreciating what you truly have. Because you want what somebody else has, right? I can't believe that you know, Rihanna and her what's her boyfriend name? A$AP Rocky. I'm not that old. A$AP Rocky. They traveling in it. Look how good they look when they outside. How come I don't look that good? He start to look, well, I look better than him. But you start to see other people in their relationships in this picture that they put outside. You desire it. And it may not be like a openly like, oh wow, I wish I had that. But because you keep feeding yourself and you keep seeing it, you start to see and say, wow, why don't I have that? And now you start to judge your relationship based off of someone else's relationship, instead of looking at what you do have, the consistency that's in your house, the goodness that's in your house, and focusing on that and appreciating that.
And just to piggyback off of that, I never really paid attention to that, but you do find yourself doing that. You're looking at people on Instagram, for example. I don't know, you know, the young people may know, because we young over
Who's
here
the young
on this side. Kadeem and DeVal, they're the Instagram influencers. They started their whole thing on Instagram. They travel the world. He's in Sisters. If anybody watches Sisters, he plays.
He used to play football.
He plays Zach.
Zach, thank you, Jordan. He plays Zach on Sisters, and he's, they're big influencers on Instagram. They post, they at everybody's wedding shows, everything. And you look at their marriage and you're like, well, why we don't have that? We started, when they started, they got 4 boys. Not that I want 4 boys. Let's make that very clear. But they have a family. They have this big house in Atlanta. He's on the show. Like, you look at it like, where did I go wrong? Instead of saying, not like that, but other people may do that. Like, you look at like, where did we mess up? Why don't we have that? Instead of saying, Well, we do. We just have it a little differently, and it's in
Mhm.
our way. It's in our the way it was meant for us to have it. That's not
Mhm.
meant for us. We're not that couple. It's meant for us to have our house that we have now, our 2 cars, and we live in our life. That's what was meant. What God meant for us, and you just have to
Mhm.
step back and say, not look at it that way. Like you said, they post their love and appreciation, but you don't see their fights about why he's always traveling, why he's away from home, why he's not, spending time with them because he has to travel for his job. But sometimes you have to sit back and appreciate what you have and not look at what other people have, because that's just not meant for you.
Good. I like that. And that's why we have these chat and chews, right? Because me and my wife, we can sit and we can speak and share, but having a different perspective. God gives us wisdom, right? He gives us knowledge, and all of us created differently and uniquely. I always share with my wife. She says, "Oh, you know how to teach it, and you can just say this." I say, "Yeah, but you have a way of putting it that I can't put it, right? There's a way, that's something unique about you, that you do it, that causes people to respond and listen and hear you." And that's why we have to have these type of dialogue with other individuals. Sometimes people need to know that you're not the only one that's thinking like that, right? You're not the only one that's experiencing that. There are other individuals that you may not know of, that you may see, or you deem successful, that have some of the same thoughts that you have, and yet they realize they have to grow into a place of learning the value what they have, value themselves, and appreciate themselves, as well as appreciate the relationship that they have. So I know one of the things that I know for me, I'm always in my head about making sure that I have to not allow it to affect my relationship with my wife. Two things is performing to get her to accept that I love her, to get her family or my family doing the yes, saying the yes when at times it's really a no, and be okay with the no. Being okay that the no doesn't mean I don't love you.
Right.
It just means that this time I don't want to do that, or I'm not going in that vein with you, and being okay with that. And then also too, understanding self-confidence, right? Because as a man, sometimes when you feel challenged by your spouse that's a woman, because you have issues from a childhood that you haven't dealt with, you'll make statements like, "You're not my mother. I'm not a child."
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a self-confidence that you got to speak into yourself and tell yourself it's not about her challenging or him challenging you as quote unquote a black woman. "Oh, you ain't gonna tell me, you ain't gonna do this, or you ain't walking over me." Those are things within you that you have to understand that I have to deal with. Because if I don't deal with these things that's within me secretly, that nobody really knows about, but it comes out of my behavior, it's going to destroy this relationship I have right now.
It's and that's good, because I was even sitting here as Pastor asked the question, what's within yourself? And I know for me personally, I grew up in a home that had real control issues, right? Like control was the thing. We had to do what was said, how it was said, smile, do that the way that person deemed for us. Like when you leave this house, you're not going to embarrass me when you leave this house, right? Keisha, our dad sang in the group, quartet group, right? So every time there was a program, my mom purchased clothes for my sister and I and my brother, and we had to look this certain way, and we had to look like this perfect family, And so for me, that was a struggle within me, that control, having that, that now babe, where you going with that? Don't wear that. Why you look like that? Pants on, put that other shirt,
Yes,
it was really, really bad. Even to my daughter and my son out here, why you got that on? They are adults paying their own bills, and still today I'll be like, "You going out the house with that on? What are you doing? Why did you leave the house?" So these are things that really can interfere and can harm a relationship, right? So those are things as individual you have to work on, because I'm not looking to harm. And my husband used to say, "Babe, I got this," and it's like he running a food line. Like, why am I bugging going to food line like that? So now I do it differently. Listen, my husband's running out. If he's comfortable in it, then I should be comfortable with it, right? He knows how to clean up well. When it's time for us to do what we need to do, I don't have to worry about no, fuzz balls on sweatpants, but which by the way, he don't wear fuzz balls on his sweatpants because he will use that fuzz ball thing to take fuzz balls off a sock. Okay, I didn't mean to tell that. But anyway, you know, it's those type of things that you have that's within you that will grip in a relationship and will bring detrimental harm to the relationship until you know, you get to a place where you're looking like, how did we get here?
Right.
How did we get here? How did the devaluing take precedence in our relationship and now cause us to be looking at the fact that I don't even want to be with you anymore, dude? You know, so those are the things that,
and most people don't track back.
They
just behave, but they don't track back and find the root, right? And because one of the things that you will hear in conversation with me and my wife, our core values, which is part of the ministries as well, be authentic, right? You don't know if someone's suffering from your child is suffering from self-esteem issues or self-confidence issues. So if you're still telling them, why are you going out the house looking like that? Why you're now just adding to the pressure of them not accepting themselves. You're telling them that their appearance is not acceptable rather than having a conversation with them to find out exactly what may be an issue that's going on. And it may not be nothing at all, but have the conversation rather than jump to conclusion. And my wife didn't know that that was something that was with me. So I'm battling this inwardly, and she's like, babe, why you look like that? You know, why you dress like that? Till we was, got newly married. She bought me this 2-piece pantsuit, right? I'm a big guy.
He's laughing in the cleaners, by the way. He never went back and picked it up.
Listen, Carter, Lady K, listen. She bought me this 2-piece light blue. I mean, real light blue. Linen. It was linen. It wasn't linen. It was like a different type, like a rayon material, right? Big old piece of material, right? I'm a big guy. I'm having issues. I'm like, oh, I'm not wearing that. I'm not wearing that. It's making me look big and huge, right? So I take it to the cleaners because it's got to get alternated. Got to fix the legs on the pants or whatever the case may be.
Because he's short.
Well, the cleaners was happy that I blessed them with a 2-piece pantsuit because I intentionally didn't go back and get it. I left it in the store right there.
You owe me. You owe me for that suit.
But hold on, you said how you got to backtrack to see why. So I thought about this. What?
Go ahead.
I thought about why I look at other, why when I see Instagram photos and I see other people with things. Well, when I was a kid, my wife and children are probably gonna be tired of hearing this. But when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot growing up, right? Like I had a house over my head. We had enough food to eat barely. And, I had clothes to wear that came from like my cousin, who was a few years older than me. So I've always wanted things, right? And I've always looked at other people and said, why do they have X, Y, Z? And I don't, right? Why am I living in this house on the nice side of Patterson? And, we heating up the house with the oven. But then I go down the street and, my cousins got the new Jordans. They got the nice clothes. So I always, since I was a child, I've been looking at somebody else, seeing what they have, not realizing that even at that time, I had a roof over my head. I had a family. I had people that were there for me. I always ate. They always supported me. They always let me know that I was smart. Use is smart. They always let me know. But I was too busy watching. So I couldn't even appreciate my younger years because I was too busy watching something else.
Yeah, that's and Pastor Carter, that's what we try to share with people. Go back and find the root of why you're, because if you don't go to the root, it's always going to be an issue. Denial, why you can't be healed. You can't heal what you don't reveal. You can't heal what you don't reveal. Well, we running out of time. So let's let this be the last one. Let's get this one in here. What tiny gestures do you guys communicate? What tiny gestures do you use to communicate how you care and recognize each other's value?
What tiny gestures? Oh, you want me to go? My children here, they don't want to hear that I send you thirst trap pictures.
Look at Lady Fight.
I send her thirst traps. I send you my new.
That.
It's a picture of my face with my new hair, and I let you see how good I look. So you get all excited, get you through your day at work, let you know I appreciate you. No, that's joking. No, so I show my wife appreciation. So the little things I do, is I understand how my wife feels, how my wife accepts love, right? She doesn't want gifts. She just wants me to do something, right? Just do something simple for her. So how I show her appreciation, I ask her what kind of meal she wants. Oh, you know, I'll feed her. Ask her what kind of meal she wants. I'll make sure every now and then I'll do something as simple as put the dishes in the dishwasher or unload. You know, it's simple things that she doesn't have to do. It's basically taking something off of her plate that she would do, and making sure she doesn't have to do it. For example, today, when I shaved, I made sure none of the hair got in the sink, which was a huge thing. That was a big thing in this house.
And that's only because I fussed him out last night.
No, we don't got to tell people why. We almost out of time.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We don't want to take people time.
So you want to go back to the social media?
No, we don't got to go back. We don't got to go back. We got to go forward. People want to hear. But no, it's just it's finding those things that I know she'll like. Right? Finding, if I run out to the store and I see we out of something, bringing it back. It's simple things. Like, it's not all about money. It's not all about, having, buying her jewelry and things like that. It's just about listening and then following up on what she spoke about. Like, hey, keep your hair out the sink. Okay. Hey, why don't you ever unload the dishwasher? Okay, maybe I'll unload the dishwasher every now and then. Think simple things like that. That I know that she'll appreciate. You just listen and you follow the small things. That's all.
No, those definitely make a big deal, because big difference. Because even though I may not say like, "Oh, thank you," I did notice that the sink was clean this morning.
See,
I did notice that the dishes was taken out of the dishwasher and the dirty ones were put in the dishwasher. So, and that's my focus. That's sometimes I won't even say like, "Thank you for doing that," but I do appreciate them. And it's the small thing. It's something as small as, I'm running out, let me pick up, a cup of coffee because he hasn't had coffee today. Or I'm out, he works from home, I'm out, let me stop at the store so he doesn't have to go back out. Or just
I'm talking about to give you some license. I'm about to give you some minister's license. Huh? Well, I fuck the glory of God. I'm not
I was flowing with you until you hit that spot right there. Go ahead.
or something as simple as, I'll drive today. I do. If anybody knows me, I do not like driving. I will drive from A to B, and that is it. I don't need to go anywhere else. So sometimes I'll say, I'll drive.
She says she drive like that's her showing appreciation. That's because she don't like when I drive her car. That's the reason why she be driving. Act like she driving because she appreciates it.
But you don't have to. So you can sit the passenger side and do what you got to do. Like, and I'll take the lead. But I don't like to drive. Like, I will not drive. But that's my way of saying, I know you're tired, or let me just take, I'll just drive this day. So it's just a little thing. So like he said, with his thirst trap pictures, they're just pictures of his face, and I'm just like, all right, thanks, babe. Like, thanks for the reminder.
They keep you going, though. They give you that inspiration to finish your day.
They give me a little chuckle at work.
No, they give you inspiration.
I laugh a little bit. I smile, and then I may send one back depending on how I feel. But those little things is what I appreciate. Because if I'm having a bad day and he sends that picture, it'll make me smile, and I'll send one back or I'll say I'm having a bad day. He'll say, I'm sorry you are. And then he'll make sure when I get home that I don't have to do anything extra. Like, he'll make sure Layla's clothes is ironed, or, he'll run her bath water. Those little things is something that I don't have to do. So that's his way of showing, I understand you're having a bad day, and I appreciate you for what you did. So thank you. And I appreciate it.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Listen, Carters, you guys are phenomenal. Yeah. For those of you, you just get a glimpse of what we've been able to experience for 20 years with this, longer with Lady Kate, Lakeisha, and 20 years.
Yeah, right. In your dreams.
And with LaMarcus. It's good to be down to earth, right? People get to see that even though we call to pastor and shepherd people and share the word of God, we are still human beings, right? We still have life that we deal with one another, with ourselves, as we come to deliver the word of God to everyone else, or share with them and get insight to this is real relationship talk, whether you're as a couple or whether you're interacting with individuals. From this conversation, there are so many nuggets that you can actually pull from this. I know one of the people that chimed in on chat, they was like, they needed this Zoom today. They actually, I saw it come up and they was like, I needed this Zoom today. Different, right? So we presented worship. We presented a way to see the Lord and hear from God and do it differently. We was difference makers doing things differently to make a difference. That's what we are called to do. And it's the Carters. If you're in New Jersey, listen, June 11th, keep paying keep staying on getting the information. So when we come to Jersey, you'll be there with them and their meet and greet that morning. I believe they're gonna be doing community outreach on that morning of June 11th. And then we're going to be our meet and greet. So we're going to be there with them doing community outreach there, and just going in there and bringing smile to people's lives in that morning. And then we're going to sit down and meet with you guys. I know that my Jordan is going to be there with me. I got her already agreed to meet me there, be there with me. Can't wait to see her in person with her beautiful self. But thank you, Carters. Thank you so very much for sharing your time, sharing your knowledge, your wisdom about relationship. Do us a favor. Tell them how many years you guys been married.
11. No, it'll be 11 in June. My bad.
11 years in June. So you had a perspective from 11-year marriage. Me and my wife, we were 26 years in July. We'll be 26 years in July. This is what the Lord will do for your marriage, for your relationship, for growing you as an individual. You can have these experiences. It may not be on social media, and you may not ever see it on live television, but what you get to see it is authentic and true and real and honest. And you get to appreciate that for yourself. And you get to know that you can have that as well. God did not create you not to have an enjoyable life and have a life filled with abundant success and victory. Once again, thank you for joining us and being with us. Carters, you guys rock.
You guys rock.
On fire. You know, put some fire emojis up there for fire. You know, I got to reach out to my Jordan. Jordan keeps me abreast. Help me understand the new lingo for the young people. Her and my daughters will say something. I'll be like, "What are you talking about, Shatira?" "Oh, daddy, such and such and such." And so she was in here the other week trying to teach me about what type of dance was that? Was it? I don't know what.
The cha-cha dance.
The cha-cha dance. Yeah, she was trying to teach me about the cha-cha dance.
She said, "All you have to do is just follow instructions." I'm like, "Well, you have to do that too,
And she talking about cha-cha dance because Lady Price 50th is coming up and we're gonna be celebrating her. So we want to do things different. We just want to enjoy life and know that it doesn't take away from our relationship and our salvation that we have with Christ. We're doing it. Everyone knows we honor our relationship with him. We honor the Carters. Will you help us celebrate the Carters, Keisha, LaMarcus, the pastors of our New Jersey location? We're so thankful they did it.
Yes.
Listen, if you join us for the first time or if you joined us and you want to be part of the Life Changers community, it's something that you're seeing, that you have witnessed through our interaction. You felt the presence and the Spirit of Christ come through come through live. We celebrate our community. We have great staff here. We have a great people. Kanisha Brown, the Browns, Mother Ava. Mother Ava is our mother. She is not the old time mother. She prays. She speaks into our lives. She is connected with us. Tony and the Carlton family, they do a wonderful job. He is the staff director. Jen Allenby, Jahad, Shatira. We just got so many people that do a wonderful job in regards to making us great. We continue to be great together.
And as far as we know, they enjoy doing what they do.
As far as we know,
we don't know anything else
as far as we know, they enjoy doing what they're doing. We hope that they're not just performing. We hope they're not just here because we hope that we all enjoy doing this together. So listen, thank you all for joining us, being a part of us. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. is our prayer line, right? Yes. It's Monday morning prayer where we come together corporately to pray for one another, pray for families, pray for just what the Lord lays on our hearts on Monday morning at 7 a.m. The prayer line, you can call in on that prayer line and be a part of what we're doing. Connect with us. On Wednesday is our empowering prayer moment, empowering day of Wednesday, where we have noonday prayer. We have, this week is going to be our life groups. There's a women's life group. There is a men's life group. And hopefully in the coming months, we're going to have a youth life group as well, where the youth can call in on that Wednesday and they'll go into their own breakout room and just have discussions concerning the issues that youth deal with. And we do that all for 1 hour so that we can all just come in and just release what's on our hearts and share and empower one another, hear one another, and then go and deal with the rest of the week. Once again, we thank you for joining us in our Chat and Chew. We couldn't have done it without you, and definitely without the Carters. But because of your love, because of your commitment to what God is allowing us to do, we continue to change lives one smile at a time. And we also always want you to remember, you can't do it until you know that life change begins with you. God bless you. See you the next time.